and you won't be relaxed. So, I'm telling you, your money is not in the account.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I've been working this grave shift. I ain't made shit. I wish I could buy me a spaceship and fly. Heaven knows. Ooh.
Past the sky.
What up, y'all? Welcome.
What up?
We out here.
Oh, not enough Kanye.
Ooh.
Sorry.
I love that shit.
I love that.
Welcome
Go
back.
to the back of the store.
Yes.
Pat me down for some khakis. Welcome back to another episode of Nights at the Round Table. We are back. Season 2 is running in full effect. Who all over here with me? This your boy Esquire. Who else is here?
Hey, it's me. It's me, baby. It's me, Coley, baby. Season 2. Episode 2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hump day.
Also, welcoming back our boy Najee Ramba from season 1.
Give the applause.
Thank you.
New York.
We love you.
We love you.
We love you, Najee.
Welcome back, Najee. Coley, I hope you're feeling real good from last week and that man bashing you, Juice, and Miss Nikki Baby was doing. Well, not man bashing, but
We actually did very good. I was very proud of us. We did not give y'all as hard a time as I thought we would have.
yes.
I'm disappointed in us.
Roll
Only
the
because the
dice.
cards didn't call for it.
We let somebody down. Women everywhere. We let them down.
Oh, you know somebody was riding their car, popping the hell out of their kids because they was trying to see what the fuck was going on.
Girl, what they say about that threesome? Sit down.
If the vibes is there,
Right.
okay.
Najee, welcome back, man. What you been up to?
Thank you, man. I've just been trying to not quit my job,
Amen.
and not quit school again.
That's very important.
That's what they tell me. So I'm just trying to press toward the mark.
What'd you say when I used to hit you up? Like, what's up, bro? What you got going on? I'm here.
That's all I am.
If I may, Najee, offer some advice.
If you would.
If to quote the beautiful, the late, the great Miss Aaliyah, she said, if first you don't succeed, dust yourself off and try again.
She did say that.
You know?
She said that. I mean, I'm succeeding. It's
Amen.
just I don't want to. This shit is terrible.
I know that's right. Well, welcome back, Najee. I'm sure we're gonna have some more interesting words from you as we step into the dark side and get here into the conversation. Sorry, folks, I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on with Nancy and Coley. Like, it's a lot of moving furniture, and I think they better start fighting.
If we could record our pre-production, you would see that we went through a whole lot on this hump day trying to get this episode right for y'all. Season 2, we in here. We have finally figured out 72% of how to do a podcast.
That's about it.
And I'm starting from square one. So
Amen.
don't count me in your
We
numbers.
appreciate you.
We're gonna have to write a book here, how we did it.
Right.
But look, before we do that, what is everybody drinking on?
Well, since I'm the only one that's exciting, I guess I will go here. And by exciting, I mean just, being myself. I'm on a little bit of this Bakoo. That's Bakoo. It is the 8-year version. It's a C.
It's not a K, it's a C.
Nancy said it's a C.
Yes.
And she would know because she is our resident advisor
Yes.
for alcoholic
For
beverage.
alcoholic beverages.
Thank you so
And
much.
our spelling bee queen.
Thank you so much. I've always missed the small ones.
What is that? What kind of Baku? Oh, okay, it's
It
rum.
is
knew about
rum,
that
and
last
they've
week.
got 3 different versions of it. This is the middle version, 8 years. Shout out CC wherever you are for the bottle. We appreciate you. But that's what I'm drinking on this evening to kind of mellow me out because I had a real rough, late afternoon.
Oh,
So
shit.
here I am.
Like turbulent?
Yes.
Okay.
Choppy.
It's real choppy.
Yeah.
The seatbelt sign came on this
going to the
afternoon.
Bermuda Triangle choppy.
Oh, God. And that's your parachute. Najee, what are you drinking on?
I am taking a Q out of well, no, it's not a Q out of old Esquire because it's not sparkling. It is it is nice refrigerator water refilled into my smart water bottle.
Hey, so can I get a refill?
Just one.
Just one.
Yes.
Ain't nothing beats some damn fucking refrigerator water because that's exactly what I'm drinking on too. Sometimes you got to go straight back to 0 calories and taste.
My refrigerator water, something has happened to it. It don't.
What you mean?
Nancy, have you noticed?
Because we drinking it. We need to know what the fuck going on with
Oh
it.
no! This came from my
I
house.
use the filter on the
Oh.
sink because the refrigerator water tastes funny to me. Like I've been using that filter on the sink for the longest now.
Does the
My
filter
nigga-
need to be changed on the refrigerator?
Probably, but that's not something we can do.
Nigga, I have been drinking that refrigerator water for the last 2 years. No.
No.
I've been drinking it all week. It's fine.
It tastes weird to me. That's me. I said.
Jesus. Y'all, tell my mama I love her. If I don't make it out this
Mama
podcast,
Esquire!
give her my debit card. My PIN number is. Just kidding.
777-911.
Right.
I was gonna go with.
We're gonna keep this rolling a little bit. What has everybody been listening to? Najee.
This is your note. Sorry.
So I've been on the St. John album, Heavy. I thoroughly enjoy it. It is called. Let's
Dun
see.
dun dun.
Drum roll, please. Guys for admiring me. It's called Ghetto Lenny's Love Songs.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
It's great.
St. John.
I thoroughly enjoy it. My favorite song is called 5,000 Singles. It sounds trappy, but I want a double Dutch.
5,000 singles?
5,000 singles.
Hell of a
Wait,
lot
you
of
said
singles.
it sounds trappy,
But
you
I want a double Dutch. It has the beat to where you can just see somebody like bouncing, getting ready to jump in a double Dutch.
Okay.
Listen to You Laugh Now, You'll Thank Me Later.
Okay, Drizzy.
Those are some conflicting ideas there. I
This
don't
is true.
understand how that works.
I will slide in here, and I've been listening to Sir. He dropped a new album back on Friday. The name of the album is Chasing Summer. I like it. It vibes nice. I got no issues with Sir. He puts out good stuff. The song that I like the most, I think, is gonna be "That's Why I Love You." Either that or he's got a song there with Jill Scott called "Still Blue." But either way, it rides real nice, and I like it. Esquire, is it Jill Scott you have an issue with? One of your issues in Neo Soul?
It's unfortunate.
You know what? I've been listening to a young man by the name of Devin Terrell. I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. I have really been on our Ceci playlist from the first episode.
So sassy.
But we were trying to bring in some new music. So I've been listening to this young man named Devin Terrell. I discovered him on Instagram. He's one of those people where, you know, you scroll through and it suggests like a page for you to follow. He was on there singing and stuff. He sounded pretty good. He was like a baby Tank. So I got into him. Not really necessarily plugging a particular album. He has a whole bunch of singles, but he has this one song called Not Happy For You. And I really like it.
That is
So
very rude.
that is very rude. That young man said we moving
So
on, but
rude.
I'm not happy for you at all.
Prince
So-
wanted to see people burn in the purple rain, so I don't care. When they sing it good, you can say whatever you want to.
That's exactly it. I don't give a
Ask
damn what
Iman.
the words are. Well, we're going to keep it moving. So, first episode, we didn't really get into too much who left the gate open. We were kind of just, kind of catch up with everybody and see what was going on. But, of course, fuckery never stops for anyone.
Never.
So,
It does not.
it's time for us to dive in.
Open the gate.
Coley, what is going on in Mississippi, please?
Oh, God. So in Mississippi, a young couple wanted to get married, share their love, a young interracial couple. They went to a venue in Bonneville, Mississippi, and they were told they could not get married there due to the venue's Christian beliefs.
Oh,
So the sister of
understandable
the
because
couple,
it's a same-sex couple, right?
no, they're interracial.
Oh,
They are interracial couple.
Oh,
It is
shit.
a black man and a white woman. So
that's
the
really not
sister-
gonna happen.
Well, either way, the sister of the man goes back to the venue. And this is where the camera comes in because, of course, we got to record everything
We
in
do.
2019.
World
and
star.
she's talking to Betty White, asking her
Betty
why her brother and his fiance, who is a wonderful, wonderful African American lady, cannot get married in this establishment. And the woman is saying these are our Christian beliefs, and things we don't allow are gay marriage, interracial marriage. She said other people with other religions. Those are things they don't allow. The woman's like, so what does your Bible say about interracial marriage? Like, what's that about? And the woman's like, I'm not going to defend my faith. These are our beliefs. And we reserve the right to not marry gay people, interracial couples, and other religious beliefs or whatever.
wow.
They're going back and forth. The lady leaves, talking about, it's some bullshit, it's crazy, it's whatever. The venue comes out as saying that the owner of the venue said, he was raised that way. He was raised that races shouldn't be mixed. He didn't realize that, it wasn't a big deal. Like it's my, my Christian right to do what I want to do. And I'm like, Christian right? How the hell? In an interview, they asked him where in the Bible it says that wasn't a thing. He says, well, we actually did check. We found out it is not in the Bible that races should not be mixed. So that is our bad. But we do stand in what we said. It's just that we've never allowed it. And we're not going to start now. We do apologize. We're not going to change what we do out here for this. And I say, who left the gate open for this motherfucker? Because I'm tired. I'm tired, America, as a daughter of a preacher and someone who believes in sweet baby Jesus. I'm tired of people using my sweet baby Jesus to cause all these problems. Because my Jesus would not allow this.
Point of order. So if you're listening and you're wondering what chapter of the Bible it says that interracial people we can't mix the races. It is. It's not in the King James version. I believe it's in the KKK version of the Bible. They sell those in certain stores in the South, mostly in the deep woods. And I believe you have to wear a white sheet over your head when you're buying that particular chapter.
It is in "You Will Not Replace Us" verses 30 through 34.
Yeah, it's in the book of pure blood pollution.
Here's the thing. I don't really understand why people go out of their way to be so fucking hateful. Like, I know people can say it's 2019, 2018. We keep saying what year it is, but people are literally living in the past as we fucking speak. Like, they need a fucking time machine for their fucking mindset. But, so did they end up getting married? Do we know? Not there.
Well, their wedding hasn't happened yet, but they're not getting married there.
Okay.
So that's
you don't say.
Right. Ethel wouldn't happen that. That's not where they're going to do it, and that's just really unfortunate. Mississippi has always been backwards, but golly.
That doesn't look good.
That's not
That was the tethered half of Betty White.
Right. That was her version of herself, unfortunately.
Well, more bullshit. Well, on lighter news, outside of people being told what they cannot do, speaking of standing up for your rights, so have y'all had the Popeyes chicken sandwich? Najee, you had it yet?
I have not had it.
Bro, I think I was talking with you through text and just telling you how good that motherfucker was.
With coleslaw specifically.
Yes, bro. With that coleslaw.
Man.
That sweet and salty got me going. I was about to drop the Popeyes at that moment.
Bro, you should have drove. Coley, have you had it?
I have not endangered my life at a Popeyes yet.
Well, speaking of endangered, so in Houston, as you know, they've been selling all these chicken sandwiches all around the country or whatever. And I guess in Houston, a family wanted to get some Popeyes and they wanted that chicken sandwich. They roll up. The manager lets them know, hey, we are out of chicken sandwich. We just don't have it.
No,
the craze is in here. It's taking over.
Music stops.
Buddy went to the dashboard and pulled out a gun on the employees.
Oh,
and I don't know.
God.
Here's my thing. If you're going to rob somebody, you got to rob them for something that they have, not something that they don't have. I don't know who was going to materialize a chicken sandwich in that moment.
Somebody had saved one.
Somebody go back behind that hole in the wall behind the fryer and grab it. We just going to get that to them. But it was 5 of them. It was like 4 adults and a baby in a damn car.
The baby pulled a gun.
The baby got the gun. And so anyway, they end up locking up the Chick-fil-A, the Popeyes, and
Don't get them twisted.
And they ended up driving off. But I'm just like, God,
everything's bigger in Texas.
Well, I guess
So they had to go as far as they possibly could.
That chicken sandwich is good, but I am not risking going to prison or getting a felony charge for aggravated assault just for a chicken sandwich. That's not it. And some coleslaw. I can't do it. I can't.
Chicken apparently takes people to a certain place. You remember that time we went and got wings and the people walked out on the waiter and they got outside and he went to like, where's the check? And they pulled a gun on him.
Yes.
What?
Over some chicken wings. It was a special night. It was like 50-cent wings. And they smooth pulled a gun on them with the baby in the back.
Bro. It might have been that same family.
But the baby had the gun.
Popeyes has successfully made a mockery of niggas, and I hate it. I already hated that damn commercial.
Well, you know what? The smoothest chicken rollout I've ever seen that didn't have any violence was, remember when Oprah paid for that grilled chicken at KFC?
That's because the college students were
Everybody
literally
was doing
eating
it.
all of it.
The only thing they had to worry about was people just kept printing off the fucking coupon.
I had 8.
Yeah. I remember that.
When they ran out of the grilled chicken, so they had to start giving fried, my life was complete. Them student loans was worth it at that point.
Well, speaking of aggravated assault and going to prison, what's else is coming out this fucking gate?
Oh, well, our favorite pedophile, Robert Sylvester Kelly.
Oh my God! Don't.
You know,
You're innocent until proven guilty.
I am getting every
not
bit
him.
of joy that I can get out of watching Robert Sylvester fall down to the depths of hell. Most recently, however, it has been his girlfriends, aka his hostages, who have risen to the top.
Are they hostages if they want to be there?
They're hostages.
Okay.
They've been brainwashed. They've got little gremlins in their brain
Oh, shit.
that sing things to them that say they seems like they're ready, and they say they are.
Okay.
But Joycelyn Savage and Azriel Carey have been
Joycelyn.
doing,
Seems like they're
I guess,
ready.
fundraisers and trying to get money from different movers and shakers in Hollywood and the media industry for, one, book deals and fame. Two, also, they are trying to get the attention of Tom Mesereau, who got Michael Jackson off in the 90s for his charges. And that is the attorney that they feel that Robert needs. However, as this article was laying out, his charges, they span 3 states. The amount of time that it will take to try this case and pay Tom Mesereau, even if they raised $1 million at best, that's to just get things started.
Yes.
And they are nowhere near that, and people are not participating in this. They're trying to get book deals. Nobody wants to hear their story because most people believe that they're lying, and they're just trying to cover for him.
Fair.
These young ladies, please, Lord help.
I'll say this about R. Kelly. He's chosen well with these young ladies. They are out here doing everything from selling donuts. Remember the Krispy Kreme donuts you can sell for the fundraisers at the school? They doing everything they can to get R. Kelly out of damn jail and get his legal defense. Shout out to them. Najee, you sent your money to the GoFundMe for R. Kelly?
I'm going to avoid that one unless they give me those little chocolate bars with almonds.
That's all you fucking
That was the best dollar ever spent. One of those little candy boxes with the Baby Ruths and the Reese's. See, they're appealing to the wrong crowd. They go a little younger, like he did.
Oh.
They'd be fine. But
R.
they didn't
Kelly's
learn.
also, he's in like a solitary confinement. Like, he wants out. He's done a couple appeals to get into general population, but they will not let him do that, mostly for safety reasons. Because if they're gonna try him, they want him alive.
They do want him alive because
So-
they will surely kill him if he get up there.
Yes.
Although he was in prison before when he was on his other charges and he was in there fighting like a motherfucker. I don't know if y'all remember those stories about him.
I mean, he's from
And
Chicago,
their
so let's be
hands.
clear.
Right.
So
They know they want him alive. The feds are not playing. They got all these charges wrapped up against him, so we'll see what happens. He's not getting out of solitary. Azriel and Joycelyn are not getting their book deals. And Tom Mesereau was like, y'all got to come up with all this money immediately.
Tom Mesereau was like, Mike had the coins,
Right.
and y'all
Liquid.
Y'all are out here
With Monopoly
skipping
money and Popeye's
right,
coupons.
trying to pay me in Popeye chicken sandwiches. Tom, I got.
But this one got
your name
slow.
on it. I can't do it. I
They
fucking
look
can't do
about
it.
as dumb as they sound on all these videos that you see of them. My hope is that they get their shit together. I refuse to believe they're doing this on their own free will. I don't. I don't believe it.
Well,
So-
you know what? I think at this point they're just gonna have to get them some regular jobs, and that actually ties in very well what we're about to go into. But before we go into that, we're gonna pause for some amazing things.
The Comedy Arts Theater of Charlotte, aka Catch, is an all-inclusive gathering space for performers, students, and audiences to play, grow, and laugh. Catch offers regular improv classes for adults. These classes focus on building confidence, learning to say yes, and having a great time. Catch also holds comedy shows most Fridays and Saturdays for only $10. Beer and wine are served. Check them out on Facebook, Instagram, and their website, http://catch.theater. Or go visit them directly at 4200 South Boulevard, Suite B, right here in Charlotte. Check them out and have a great time. All right, y'all. This week on this shit right here, we are going to spend some time talking about somebody's favorite thing, somebody's least favorite thing. Well, Najee's least favorite thing right now.
Currently.
But that is our jobs. We spend a lot of our lives working at somebody's job. And today we're going to talk about workplace and all the foolishness, fuckery, shenanigans, and blessings even. that
Yes.
come along with being in the workplace. We all have very different positions and jobs. I work in the financial technology industry, formerly in telecommunications, so most of my anecdotes or like musings will come from my time there as I just started my new job. Esquire is, like he said, sometimes he plays a real lawyer in real life. So he's
And
out
not just
here,
on television.
and not just on TV. Najee, how did you want to describe it? You work in finance also.
Yeah, I do
Yes.
financial analytics. So
Yes. So we've all got some different things going on in our lives, and that's what's up. Different experiences, different places that work has taken us. We're going to dive right in. The number one thing I wanted to discuss was workplace etiquette. Lots of different things going on there, how you should behave in the workplace. How do we feel about using personal phone calls and things like that in common spaces or in like cube environments? I have a cube. I don't know what your environment is like or yours.
Cube.
Badu, cubed up.
Is using personal phone calls. I think it just depends. Like normally, as long as you're not with a client or anything, at least in my experience, you're not with a client or anything. You're like off in the back or whatever, and you're in your cube. You can use your phone calls. But then again, I don't like people being all in my damn business.
True that.
So I'm that person like running out of the building real fast, looking at my phone, hoping like, please, how many rings I got, and answering it. So that's just how I've been taught.
Yeah, personal. If you want to do what you got to do, but like if you got an office, by all means, do your thing. In my office, all of the offices are they have glass windows, so when people are in their offices having like real heated conversations, you can see it, but you can't hear
Keep them
it.
hands down.
Right.
And that's fun to watch. But I don't do personal convos above a certain level or above certain topics at my desk because that just is too much going on in the office.
There's like a couple of people I can answer the phone for at work.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's like my
Right.
mom. And when I hit her with the, hey, mom, she's like, oh, you in the office?
Hey.
Yes, I am. What do you need? Well, somebody cut me off. Okay, mom, I'll call you back.
Right.
And even then, Mama Esquire has gotten really good about, if she calls me, I know it's an emergency, but normally she'll text me first, like, hey, can you talk?
We're still working on
Something
that.
like that. Oh,
Mama now just I have something to say right now.
I just want to be heard.
That's it.
True that. Mind your space. We don't want to hear your convo. I don't want to be a part of it.
But now I will say, listening to some of the shit that people talk about
Right.
is quite entertaining when you're not
Yes,
trying to do
this
work.
is true. This is very true.
Especially if you hear somebody who's in a relationship fighting with their significant other.
Right.
I was like,
I told you not to call me here.
I literally
you
walked
want?
in on somebody going off talking about, yeah, I'm just trying to give you suggestions. You seem like you want to be a bitch today. I'm just trying to give you suggestions. That's all right. Yeah, I said it. That's all right. That's all right. We'll talk about it when I get home. I will talk about it when I get home. I was like, oh shit, don't talk to your man like that.
And he's somewhere at his job, like looking at the phone, like, no, she not talking to me like this.
He was upset.
Fantastic. What about personal space? Like people that just like have no sense of like where
I'm
they belong
huge
in your life
on personal
at work.
space. You got to move, bruh. Like you've got to okay, so in the cubes that we deal with, it's real. People can, there's like a file cabinet on the side. People can kind of sit on, there's like a cushion on top, which is to promote the whole like, open space. We
yes.
can talk, but you don't got to be sitting on top of me. The worst thing ever is when you're sitting there at your desk, turned, and they want to come stand in your cube, damn near on your leg. I'm like, look, just because I got a beard does not make me Santa Claus. Get the fuck out of my space.
Right.
It's really awkward. And then when you got to deal with different, walks of life,
Yeah.
not everybody showers the same. It's really weird. So give me my space.
The only time I really had a problem with like personal space was at the firm. There was a lady there, one of the paralegals. She was like an older paralegal, and she liked to be real touchy feely, and not touchy feely in like a bad way, like unzipping your pants while
Like
she's
you liked
talking
it.
to you. It's more so like y'all will be talking about something. We'll be standing in the break room or something like that, and she likes to like rub your back or something like that, or touch your arm when she's talking. And I'm not really good with that kind of stuff. If I don't want you touching me, I really don't want you to touch me, but I don't know how to be like, old lady, don't put your hands on
It's
me.
2019. You need to just say something, and they'll get that bitch right out of there.
You're right. Maybe I need to just have a press conference and be like, and she touched me.
I think that's my thing too. Like we've coming from certain workspaces, like working in retail for a very long time. I've managing whatever. Like personal space is not a real thing because those environments are like high school like classrooms and locker rooms. Like it's a mess in there, and you got to constantly remind people like, hey, I'm not dealing with HR today. Like don't do that bullshit. In my new job, I don't have too much with that. Like anybody that does touch me, it's someone that I've decided is okay. Like touch my shoulder. There's no hugs. I don't hug anybody at my office just yet. And that's another thing. Like, just because you, are a self-proclaimed hugger, that's not okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't mind hugs either. But, if I don't know you, we not hugging.
Once they listen to the podcast from last week, they're going to embrace you. Are Are you Coley?
I'm a professional in real life for between the hours of 8:30 and 4:30. Do not listen to anything I say in that podcast.
So you don't want nobody hugging you and putting their nose in like the crease of your neck, like sniffing.
Pulling a Joe Biden?
Yes. Please, Uncle Joe, please do not sniff me. Don't do any of that. Don't put your nose in my neck. Like, I just, no, not at work.
You
I don't know
smell so
you.
good.
No thanks. Not at all.
Walks out.
This frosted coconut snowball?
What about workplace gossip, spilling and spreading tea? Always fun.
I think it depends, because sometimes that can be very uncomfortable, especially if you just start a new position. I remember when I had just gotten to the firm and I got hired at the same time as another attorney. Well, not at the same time. She had been there probably like 2 months before me. And I would come in to get like my assignment or whatever I was going to be doing. And then to hear like some of the other attorneys like straight dragging that attorney through the fucking mud and like just saying whatever they wanted to say about it. I'm standing there like, ooh, can I get through here real fast? Ugh.
Yeah.
But otherwise, after you've been there for a little while, as long I don't partake in gossiping like that, because you just never know who's listening, and you never know how that's going to come back on you. But I will be acting like I'm working and listening to some shit going on and giggling.
Oh no, my office has a open collaboration area on one of the floors, so that's where you can do like open meetings and just kind of sit and chill out. Which is, I do a lot of my work there because my cube, like I said, I can't. There's too much activity going on the cube. So I was over there one day last week, and I saw some random people talking. I hang out there, so I can meet new people and figure out where I can get in and fit in, meet new stuff, and learn new things. But also, I've been trying to figure out what's going on. And this dude mentioned the name of someone who got recently walked out of the building. And we've been trying to figure out what happened. All I heard was him say company morale and say her name. And I was like, wait a minute. I took my AirPods off and I was like, what? What was that?
Not company morale.
Come again?
Like, I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on so I can pass it on. Completely so I can pass it on. But you don't want to be the office gossip. Unless
I stay away from it because I don't trust nobody. Like, and I said that poor sentence on purpose. I don't trust nobody at my job. Aside from like people that I've built a rapport with. So it's rough when you in corporate America, and I just don't trust these Equinsuochas to not hit me with some shit that is not real. So I keep it to myself, and I try and lay low. And when gossip comes around, I just walk the opposite direction until somebody says something that involves me, and then my ears perk up.
So what was that? Did you say?
Right.
Come again?
Come again?
Let me clarify.
Come
Cool. Huh? What about working while you sick? Like motherfuckers that want to come to work with the flu. Like, that's what they do. They not trying to take no time off.
I first off, you need to be quarantined and locked up in prison for that kind of stuff, especially with these terrible flus that we've been fucking having these last few years. And you coming in, can't hardly talk, sneezing, coughing. I'm gonna be all right. I just really need to get this knocked out. You need to take your laptop home and get that shit together. You have no business coming in infecting everyone.
Or take a day.
Right?
Take a fucking day.
You got 100 hours of PTO. I promise you can use 8. Just use 8. I'll give you 8.
You can borrow. We will pitch in. We will do a GoFundMe for your PTO.
Exactly.
That's funny. I think like Nancy brought up a point. She's like, "What about jobs that make it difficult to do so?" I know the environment that I came from. I'm salaried now, but I used to be an hourly employee, so that was a thing. Like, if I'm not working, I'm not getting paid. So that was the whole thing. So people were like, "Well, I got to come to work so I can get my stuff." And like, if you don't have PTO, but I'm like dead over here, and I'm like that. Well, that's a what you say, government regulated thing. Those are labor unions, all the work, like labor laws, stuff like that. There's not a whole lot you can do about that. Somebody out there ruined it for all of us, and now you just got to use your discretion and hope that your boss likes you enough to maybe cut you a break.
And you also have to just hope that when you go by that Walmart and stuff, they got some good Benadryl and Tylenol and Theraflu and everything else, and just take those as well. Because I know some people who will just roll into work and they ain't taking shit. I don't believe in medicine, No, I just drank some tea. And that's you literally are bleeding from a gunshot wound. That tea is not gonna do nothing for you right now. Right. I don't know.
Well, that kind of leads me into my next thing, which is cleanliness. So, like, I keep hand sanitizer at my desk. I have hand sanitizer in my little backpack that I carry around throughout the day. Like, I try my hard. Like, I got sick a couple weeks ago, and I was pissed because I'm always like hand sanitizing, washing my hands. I don't touch. I'd be on doorknobs with like my elbow, trying because there's too many people in that building. I don't trust it. Mm-hmm. But it got me, and I'm like, ugh. Like, wash yourself, be clean. Cleanliness in the workplace.
I think the worst for me is, so this is a side story, sorry guys, about cleanliness. So I joined a new team. They gave me a new desk. This was a few rows back. And so when you come to a new cube, sometimes there's new stuff in terms of like new monitors, new keyboard, new mouse. Sometimes there's not. Mm-hmm. So the person that sat there previously apparently had a skin condition.
Oh.
And so
no.
when you looked at the keyboard, it looked like it was dusty. And so then when you pick, so I picked the keyboard up and I was like, let me dust it off real quick. So I shook it and it was like fucking Christmas of just flakes of skin.
Don't come by with like a cart and clean it up.
So they did after that.
You couldn't request to get.
Oh no! I got all new everything.
Okay.
New cube, new everything because it was absolutely disgusting.
Absolutely not.
But but what do you do? I mean,
yeah.
I mean, at this point, the motherfuckers need to be working in a trash bag. Like, they need to be in that messy trash bag doing their thing.
No, that's the dust from Infinity War. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Listen,
here.
Oh, God.
that was Spider-Man all in that keyboard.
Mr. Stark.
Man, no, like my
Feels so good.
What do you call it, like the refrigerator bullshit? Like they got a whole thing with like leaving your stuff around in the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
My job has on every floor in the break rooms on every floor, they got a little picture on there. Dude from Panic at the Disco, his face is like with his hand up, talking about some. I chimed in with haven't people ever heard of closing the goddamn door, and that's what's on every refrigerator. Because our refrigerators, if you leave them open, they make this terrible, life-ending loud noise. So you know when the refrigerator is left open, and
That's actually very smart.
Yes.
That's actually very smart.
So somebody, you see people running, trying to close the refrigerator real quick, but like they clean out that thing with the quicks, and if they don't, it gets real nasty in there.
The people at the firm, they were we had some real nasty ass people that worked in there. We literally, not only with the whole refrigerator incident where you leaving food in there for 6 months, that you had your breakfast burrito that you took a bite of and then you put it back in there. I'm gonna come back to that next Christmas.
Well, this still good.
We also have they have plates and everything like that in there in the dishwasher. And so, of course, if you don't like to load the dishwasher at your own house, you're not going to load the dishwasher at your job. So, literally, you would see plates stacked up to the fucking ceiling in the fucking sink. Because they didn't want to either rinse their stuff off, wash behind themselves. And so, you see all like this mold and old stuff that's all on the plates and everything. I'm just like, y'all are real disgusting. That's why I don't eat here.
Ugh, I think when I was working telecommunications, I used to always have to get on my reps about cleaning up in the break room and doing stuff. Like, this is not your house. Mm-hmm. And if this is how you treat your house, note to self, I will never be at your damn house, you nasty son of a bitch. Like, why are you like this? Please
break rooms and bathrooms are some of the nastiest places to be in. I had a situation at one of my old jobs where the bathroom was literally a weekly complaint. Like, we would complain every week. Individually, God. We would all complain about the bathrooms. The bathrooms were terrible.
And from people going in there straight going, or they just weren't cleaning those bathrooms afterwards at a decent amount of time.
There's a certain amount of like pubic hair you can't clean
God.
out in the middle of the day.
No.
And I'm genuinely trying to figure out like who avoids manscaping for 30 years? Because Rapunzel's father apparently comes in that bathroom. It was just terrible. It was
like
bad.
it's like one toilet in the bathroom. Or was it like
there were 2 urinals and 2 toilets, and like they were just people miss. They don't do nothing about it, or they don't flush, or they spit their gum in the thing. And meanwhile, this is at a corporate Fortune 100 company, and people do not know. So people literally had to print signs, like the admins on the floor would print signs and send people in there that says, clean up after, like legitimately clean up after yourselves. Like, and if you miss, clean it up. Like, I don't think you need to tell people that.
But
not in this day and age.
You had to, man. That's
it's bad.
Real thing. It is.
And none of them drink water.
Oh my gosh. Based on evidence.
Clearly.
Well, so with that, like, what about people who, like, how like, we got 6 floors at my building. So, once, like, I figured out this one person, they go to a different floor other than the floor that we work on to do their other business.
Oh, yeah.
And
Shout out to that.
Go to Narnia.
Shout out to
do what
that.
you got to do.
Shout out to that. Yes.
Fuck somebody else's stall up,
Right.
and then come back home.
Which I can respect that because, like I said, coming from where I came from, we had one bathroom for everyone, men and women. It wasn't open to customers, but it was just us. And I worked, like I said, with some crazy son of a bitches who did not care. All I know is that I shouldn't eat that Chipotle, and I had to get it out.
Oh my god.
And we would be in that back room like, who is in that bathroom? Get it out.
That's goddamn disgusting. But I used to work at the same company that EJ worked at a very, very, very long time ago. Except I was not in the corporate part. I was more so in the hood. But like a little warehouse where they probably sold drugs from. But anyway, they had multiple
That's JP Morgan.
floors. They had multiple floors in there as well. But anyway, main floor I worked on. I remember they called like this big ass meeting with all the women that worked on the floor, and I was like, what the hell is about to go on? Like, they better fire all these women. Like, what is going on? So they hold this big ass meeting,
Handmaid's Tale.
and they are like literally, like whoever the manager was like, hey, we just gotta tell y'all that women's bathroom is disgusting. It's nasty.
Man.
And apparently
the worst.
what somebody was doing was they were going there doing like a number 2, except they were getting it all over the walls and stuff like that. And it's just like, and so they literally had to call a meeting. I'm just like, what the hell is going on in these fucking bathrooms? What are you eating or what are you doing? What kind of condition do you have where you have to come in and spray the wall like that? Like, I don't get it. How do you spray the wall? Like,
The same for white chicks. Like, it's not,
right.
you're not okay.
And so I'm trying to figure out. I wish I
Golly.
was at that little meeting because I was like, I would be looking at people in their eyes because you want to see the ones that like lock up a little bit because you in there doing that kind of shit, literally.
Right. That's what, like,
Girl, you are full of shit.
right.
I was.
I see your nasty ass. I know that's you. Mind your cleanliness, okay?
Don't shake their hands,
If,
please.
if your mama didn't teach you, please remember your grandmama, somebody, your auntie.
One last cleanliness one. Just one more. That's all I need. There was a guy at one of my previous jobs. He was known for going into like the public bathroom that we all had to use and losing his life, whatever. Four urinals or 4 stalls and 2 urinals. So I remember one time I came in there and he was like going in, and I had used the bathroom, whatever. I'm in there washing my hands. He comes out of the bathroom. He literally like licks his fingers, fixes up his fucking eyebrows, and walks clean out of the fucking bathroom after fucking like destroying whatever stall he was in. And I was like, tell everybody on my fucking row. I was like, I'm not working with that guy. I'm just like not like, I don't know how you can go in and wipe yourself and then don't wash your hands. Like, that's fucking disgusting. Right. But he did lick his fingers. I guess he did.
That was
get
his wife.
wet. Ugh. And they're in his eyebrows now because he like straightened himself up.
He was
or
like,
whatever.
lunch was delicious.
That still tastes the corn. That's it for me. That's all I
That is
had.
absolutely disgusting. People out there in the world watching, listening, being live, and doing whatever, please mind your manners in the damn workplace. All right, so what about annoying coworkers? Like, just that motherfucker that talks too much, wants to overshare, wants to always be in your space, in your business. Like, what is the respectful way to deal with somebody who just, like, won't not?
I for the most part, dealing with annoying coworkers, I don't know. I don't want to say I make a joke out of them, but I keep it real light and get the hell up out of there. Like, if somebody's coming in and talking about, oh my God, I just filed for bankruptcy, and they just want to come in and just talk, I'm usually like, oh, okay, oh cool, hey look, I gotta really get back to what I'm doing over here. Like, this has got to be done. Oh yeah, I understand. And I just keep it moving or whatever. Like, I don't really engage with those people like that too much.
I prefer to give him a nickname. Like, we have a used car salesman at work who will just lie through his teeth to get his point across. And it's like, you're a used car salesman. Or like, call him Uncle something. And they're like, huh? Like, Uncle Jim, you're crazy. And he's just like, wait. Like, whatever. It cuts the confusion on their face, cuts them off from their thought, and I just walk the fuck away. Or I just stay at home. Even though
Or
I'm
you
not
just stay home. Or just stay
Back,
home.
why you staying home today? I'm not dealing with that motherfucker today.
I'm
just not.
sick of his shit. Yeah.
What do you do, Coley?
That's why I asked. I do have people that I just can't stand at work. But in the environment that I'm in, I can usually find somewhere to go. My previous environment, I was stuck in the building that I was in, and it was small. But in this one, there are a million places that I can be other than where that person is.
You know what? Shout out to hide and seek.
Right.
And you won't find me, motherfucker.
You got to find me first, man.
Or as Najee would say, you got to find me real good 'cause I'm at home.
And you don't have the address.
And anybody that knows me, though, like, I'm good with words. I have found nice ways to, like, get them to realize, like, I don't want you talking to me. Like, that our conversation does not have to extend past hello. Like, we don't have to.
I found sometimes, like, when you are like walking or something like that and they try to catch you and try to talk to you about something you just like don't want to talk, I'm always like constantly like moving like out of
In
the
opposite direction.
You see
I'm like,
nothing.
huh? Okay.
You
Oh, you
moving.
crazy. You crazy. I'm sorry about the bankruptcy. I gotta get something done. I promise.
I smooth hold so I always have one AirPod in, one earphone in on one side.
there you go.
Typically on the outside, not where people walk by me or whatever. And then when I see somebody coming, I just slide that second
Slide the
one
other
up
one in?
and push it as far in as it goes. And they're sitting there talking to me. And I'm sitting here like I don't hear. I see them as shit. I see all of them beside me. I'm just like, Uncle Jim, I do not feel like talking to you right now.
That's, yeah. Get them out of here, annoying coworkers. One of my favorite things, company correspondence. It's my favorite thing because I am a grammar Nazi, and I hate poorly written emails or any type of anything in the company on my nerves. What do y'all have to say about that? As people, you probably write a lot of things, got a lot of stuff that has to be communicated through different people, and so do you.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
What do you mean? Like,
well, like you got some people. Like I used to have a manager who I had to write his emails because if I did not, we would be shamed. Our whole segment would be shamed if I did not write his emails, or people who write emails that shouldn't be written as emails.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps you should have come to my cube for this, or not said it at all.
Yep.
well, working with attorneys, I think people are more mindful about what they say and how they say because they don't want to be that person. But I have worked at jobs where people are just like, I don't know if you like speeding through this really fast. I don't know if like the words just are not coming together, as Donnie Hathaway would say, and you're just hitting that send button. But this is like absolutely ridiculous. What are you saying right now? And there's a picture in here. What is going on? And you put a GIF in here. What is happening here? What do you want me to do? That's when you get up and walk down there. Hey, what was that assignment you wanted me to fucking do? Because I didn't fucking understand any of that. No.
Right.
My favorite one is when people are trying to sound important and they don't, and you know they aren't.
Yeah.
And it's like the resident uncle on the floor. Here he goes again.
Whereunto, therefore.
When they start using a lot of words that just don't fit. I mean, they're good words. Like we say, like advantageous, good word, right? Doesn't need to be in every other sentence. And it's like, bruh, you gotta cut the shit.
That might be the word of the day.
If I could get some response
For 6
to this
months?
email expeditiously.
That calendar might be stuck.
Listen, Joe Clark is the only person that can use that word.
Or those people that send you stuff and to let you know that they have been waiting on you to send that stuff back. It's got to be in red ink, or red font,
In bold.
there was an attorney that worked with that was her whole thing was compliance or whatever. So she was like the last stop with a whole bunch of stuff. So she needed people to send her different things, and so she would make like one request, and then you would get. Then 4 minutes later, you're getting like 3 or 4 emails, and all of them are in red letters. And it got to the point where motherfuckers would just be ignoring her, just to be fucking ignoring her, or sending it to other people to have them send it to her or whatnot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. That's obnoxious. I don't understand that.
There's a time and place for everything, and a lot of people miss that day in class, miss that day in life.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They just don't know how to operate on a platform like that. Like, bro, everything doesn't need to be said. You don't have
And
to
you
do
don't got to
that.
CC my manager for everything.
Please do
Oh,
not.
So that's probably one of my
That's
worst
petty.
things ever.
I
Yeah.
passed by the petty thing, but that's petty as fuck. Like, when people CC people, like, you know they up to some shit. Mm-hmm. I hate that.
Yeah, no, I remember I've had a couple of like random situations, one of which I got an email directed to me, but there was nobody in the to line. And I was like, you forgot to not put me in the BCC line. So who else is on this email?
Right.
And they were like, what are you talking about? I was like, So I ran into the whole thing. It's like you blind carbon copied me and clearly somebody else on this. So who was it? And then they were very embarrassed. And then other one was I asked somebody, did they do something that they said they were going to do? And they hadn't done it. And they responded to me, because I asked them directly, responded to me. They tagged my manager, my manager's manager, my manager's peers, and like just tagged all these people. And I was like, what are you doing? Uncle Jim, like, you've got to stop. Like, he is a fucking case.
Theophilus, if you don't quit this behavior right now.
And here's the thing. I don't really have a problem with you tagging anybody on or that's above me or whatever, all this kind of stuff, because as long as I'm saying and doing what I'm supposed to be doing, you can tag all the motherfuckers that you want to tag. Hell, Jim, do you see what this motherfucker is talking about right here? I want you to see this foolishness. Most time you saying something real crazy, not me. So, it is.
That's it. Mind your manners. Again, mind your manners. Watch your mouth, basically.
Please.
Oh, shit. Damn, not watching now.
So pause for fun things. Best or worst job you've ever had, or maybe a horror story or something like that you got in the workplace.
I've had like 39 damn jobs. Najee knows this. I've had so many fucking jobs.
If anybody can get a job, it's Esquire. I want y'all to know that.
The worst possible job that I ever had was I used to work at a fitness center back in college. I only worked there for maybe like a month. And this was me and Najee, and everybody was trying to be all healthy and shit, and go through me, Najee, and Rhubarb. We was trying to be fucking healthy. Anyway, they had me on like this fucking grave shift, and I had to report. I was like a front desk receptionist or whatever, so I was checking everybody in,
Beeping the cards.
and it was 24 hours, so I had to work the night shift. I remember I got approved to go see my dad like that Saturday. Or that whole weekend, that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. As I'm on the road, the front desk manager calls me like on that Friday, and she's just like, "Hey, we need you to come into work." I was like, "I'm on my way to Georgia. I can't do it." She's like, "We need you to come into work. Somebody called out sick. We need you to come in." I was like, "Hey, that's not my problem. You approved it so I can leave. If you don't come into work, you're going to be fired." I said, "Okay, cool. I'll be dropping my stuff off when I get back." So the whole time I'm down there, she is blowing my phone clean up throughout the whole weekend because I guess she had to work it. So she was leaving me nasty messages like, "Hey, it's Saturday. You need to come in here," whatever. "Hey, it's Sunday. You can still save your job. Just come in," or whatever for a few hours.
Are you kidding me?
You realize I'm not answering his phone.
So I got back Sunday night, and since I knew I was fired, I didn't go back into work until maybe like that Thursday. And because I wanted to go pick my check up, I had my little uniform all folded up with my name tag. I was like, "Is Ashley here? I just want to give her my stuff." She was mad as a motherfucker. She's like, "You should have just worked that weekend."
I bet she got over it.
Well, actually ended up closing down pretty soon afterwards. Remember, and turned into your spot that you like to eat at, Ishi.
There was a gym there?
Yes.
There was a gym there.
There was a gym there.
Many moons ago.
Many moons ago. And I was right in that motherfucker for a few days. For just a few days.
Oh, yeah. Where Hobby Lobby is.
Yes,
Yeah,
the place that's always something
and
else.
they got closed down because the gym manager, he was offering people memberships, but he was telling them, "You got to pay me $50 on the street." He was taking cash. So
No.
they did an investigation. They just closed the shit down.
It's just fuck it.
Man.
I think I'll go on a positive note in terms of, I have two actually. Well, one job, two experiences.
Okay.
So my favorite job ever was my first role in analytics. So somebody took a chance on me,
Amen.
and bless God it worked.
Yes.
So my manager, we have dubbed her as my manager soulmate because she is the exact kind of person that I needed to push me, to challenge me, but then to also reinforce that I'm doing good.
Yes.
Like, you're trying, and I see that. And this is how you can do better. This is what I'm doing. Come shadow me, come learn from me. Go learn from them, and like really connected me with a lot of people in the field that I still talk to today, which is great. And so she took a different position after I had been in the role for about a year, and I had a business partner that I've been working with for a while. Everything was going good. I'm pretty sure Esquire remembers this lady that I told him about years ago, but she had a moment where we were on a call. It was just she and I this time, and she was wrong about something. So I was trying to, let her know this is not right? And she said, if you would just shut up.
No.
And I said, oh. So I obliged because only thing I had left to say was, bitch, the fuck. So I got off the call and called all my new manager at the time and everybody like, look, this, I need some coaching.
Yeah.
Because clearly I don't know how to handle this. And then it came up later in my review that I need to work on my business partner relations. And I thought that was very.
This is the same one who told you. The one who told you to shut up was the one who did the review for you.
No. She was the business partner. So the new manager that I got told me I needed to work on my business partner relations, which was crazy because we've never had any issue. But it's fine. I still see that lady to this day every now and then, and I give her the same stank look I heard she gave me over the phone.
Oh,
That's
bitch.
wow.
First off, you don't. Najee, I commend you on your maturity. I commend you on your resilience. I commend you on just being the better person. That's something that I try to strive to be better in. Because were you on the call? It was just you and her on the call?
Yep, it was the only time that she and I had a call by ourselves. We've had other correspondence, emails or whatever, but this is the only like conference call we were both on together. And my manager couldn't join that day. Mm-hmm. And so I told her, I was like, number one, you would have never said this with my manager on the phone. Mm-hmm. So I really, if I could fast forward what I knew then and then that situation now more so, it would have gone very, very differently. But that was my first job.
I was just happy to be there. Exactly how you were supposed to handle it.
But nothing happened. Like, they didn't even like say anything to her about it.
Of course not.
And I was just kind of like, wow, that's wild because she told me to shut up. Like, I'm a grown ass man and she is old as dirt. And she's telling me to shut up on a call over something that she's wrong about. And the fact that no one addressed it, I wasn't in that job much longer. So I pulled an Esquire and found another job.
But I say, and you're the better person for it. You out of there. So me, I'd have been trying to make her life a living hell from that moment on, going forward. But anyway, go ahead. What you say, Coley?
I'm gonna go with a worst experience. As I said, I worked in telecommunications, and as I mentioned earlier, with cleanliness, we had a bathroom that was not meant for customers, but occasionally we would let customers use it if we knew them or it was a special situation or whatever. Mm-hmm. On this particular situation, we were trying to close something and get something completed, and the man said that he needed to use the restroom. He's a dude. He's in a wheelchair. And by in a wheelchair, I mean he was using the wheelchair just for fun, because when he was in the wheelchair, he would use his legs to move the chair. He was not being wheeled.
Maybe his arms didn't work.
Or his thighs.
Again,
he was tiptoeing in his Jordans.
His legs would move rapidly, and he had full use of his upper body. I guess maybe walking long distances was a thing for him. I don't know. But he needed to use the restrooms. We were like, you know what? Let him use the bathroom. We're trying to close his deal. That's cool. We let him use it. Some time goes by, and I'm like, where's he at? So I go to the back, and my rep that's sitting in the back, she was like, I don't know what's going on there, but it's not good. And I knock on the door, and all I hear is, I'm fine. It's fine. And you hear, like, all this commotion, like, shit happening in the bathroom. I'm like, oh, God. I call his name. I'm like, can we get you anything? You need any help? And he's like, it's fine. Damn, it's fine. I'm like, okay. So I just wait outside, like, and meanwhile, it stinks in there. It's not good. God. Like, it's not good. Like, I don't know what's happening. Like, it's coming out into the break room. I'm just waiting for him to come out of the fucking bathroom. After maybe 10 minutes of me standing there, maybe 15 of him being back there, I hear the door open. He rolls out, shuffling out. He shuffles out. The smell comes out with him. Someone opens the door to let him back out onto the sales floor. And I'm like, close the door, because it stinks back here. A couple things happen. One, I noticed feces everywhere.
It was a trail of tears.
Oh my God.
Everywhere in the bathroom. The bathroom, like the toilet, the wall next to the toilet, the hand bar that you would like use to stand.
Oh my God.
Oh.
It's not. And then on top of that, I think did I tell you this story? And then there randomly, and I don't know if it was related to the feces or not, but a mouse runs out of the bathroom and into the break room. And I don't know if that was related, if he had that mouse in the wheelchair with him.
That mouse said, I can't take this shit. I got to get out of here.
So I see shit. I see a mouse. I'm losing my whole fucking life. And this motherfucker, he goes back out to the sales floor and continues talking to my sales rep. And I'm just like, shout out to my sales rep because I know you listen religiously every other week. I appreciate you. And she will remember this. He's out there talking to her like nothing has happened.
Did you at least get the sale? Did he buy something?
No, we did. We made sure that we got that sale up out of him. That bathroom, I had to call facilities. And they were like, what's the state of, I had like category, they was like, category 1, are you sure? I'm like, oh, no ma'am. Yes. I said, what's in the bathroom? I said, well, when you've got supplies. I said, no. My job does not include this. I said, there's feces everywhere. That's not an exaggeration. It's everywhere. Somebody needs to get here in the next hour to clean this up. Hazmat, whoever y'all gotta get.
Oh my God.
The CDC. Like,
did they send somebody out there?
Somebody got there in like 30 minutes and they came out there. She said, ooh. Our sales, like in my store, like our sales floor was small, so like we had the door open out front because like the smell, because he was still in the store for the longest, so the smell came with him. And once he realized
his clothes and shit,
yes,
on his wheels,
right?
Like once he realized that we knew what was up, he was trying to hurry us up. We closed down. He rolled right out of there, and he was just sitting outside, and we watching him. And they cleaning up the bathroom. I'm like,
get your nasty ass out of here.
Was this in the country wilderness?
Yes.
Oh,
for months after that, his ass would roll by my fucking window, and every time he rolled by, I would just like, you motherfucker.
That's goddamn disgusting. What happened? Like
It's the same thing with that girl that was in the bathroom at your job.
I'd have been him with a wig on.
No,
Joanna man,
right?
Facilities telling me, well, you have some supplies. Like, no, I don't have no supplies. Not for this.
Like,
this needs a person.
This
is a job for somebody else.
You gonna have to get special forces in this motherfucker.
Call Underdog because clearly.
And after that, we never let another customer in that building. I think I was there for maybe, because I was in the summertime, so maybe I was there for almost another year after that, and we never let another customer use that bathroom. And the customer's like, "Are you sure I can't?" I said, "Ma'am, I don't have to explain to you why. You just cannot."
Right.
Like you may not.
You got to talk to Wheelchair Jerry, and he'll tell you why.
There you go, right there. Ask his ass why you can't come in here.
Ask Brand the Broken, why the fuck we can't use the goddamn. Oh, that's disgusting.
That's nasty.
It was all over the wall.
That's just oof. And like I'm like Esquire. I've had a lot of random ass jobs before landing something for a very, very long time. And then my new job, I worked in retail a lot. That's crazy mess out there. Mm-hmm. I think one of my favorite retail jobs would either be, I worked at Best Buy. That's where I met some cool people.
You met Lawrence?
I did. I met Lauren at Best Buy. Yes.
Did you put a CE on there?
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Oh, no, Lawrence from Issa's Lawrence.
Issa's Lawrence. Oh, yes.
Jesus Christ.
Probably. I probably did meet a Lawrence out there. But Best Buy was a shit show working at. It was the big blue box. We had a lot of crazy fucking times. I was in college and I enjoyed the hell out of that job. So that was that for probably like the best whatever job to be TBD for my current adult life. We'll see. I like the job I have. Very blessed. That's all I got to say about that.
Cool. So, but that brings us to the next topic then, 'cause just circling back to what Najee was talking about, dealing with difficult bosses. And I say that you handled that really well, because one thing that my mom and my dad always instilled in me was be respectful, be overly respectful, but then the minute somebody disrespects you, that's when you go in. And it's like I try to make sure that when I'm at work, I try to set a good environment where I'm positive when I'm being there. I'm never tied up in any mess. I'm here to work. And I just try to bring good energy. And anytime somebody comes in and busts that bubble, that's when I'm right there to get your ass together, as they fucking say. I never had any real issues with the bosses that I worked for, but at the last job I had before I got to the firm, I had a senior person that's in the same position, but they had been there a lot longer than I was. And I remember there was this one incident that happened where we were working on some type of project, and I needed to go ask somebody else a question about what needed to be done. And for whatever reason, she did not want me to ask this person about whatever needed to be done. She was just like, it's just gonna make our department look bad. You just know what. And I'm just like, wait a minute, but they have the answer. We don't know what the fuck is going on. Whatever. So she and looking in hindsight, thinking about it, probably wasn't as big as it was. I think I was just over her. She was my annoying coworker that I couldn't get away from. She had said something along the lines of, "Well, you're going to ask her this. Just you just look disorganized. Like you just really don't know what you're doing. You're just disorganized." And I was like, I had to stop for a minute. But you don't know the
answer either.
But you don't know the answer either.
None of us know.
So we don't know the answer. So I stopped. And our cubes were together. So I remember rising up real slowly and turning to her cube. And I was like, what did you say? What did you say? And she's like, you just going to look real disorganized. You're going to look real disorganized or whatever, disorganized. And I said the same thing that you said about her not having the answer. And I was like, now hold up. I said, now we could talk about whatever, but you ain't about to be here calling no names or whatever. And all this other shit, yada yada. So we got into like a little break room or whatever, and she was like, "Well, let's just hash this out and just determine why, whatever." And when I tell you, I lit into her ass. I was like, "I don't give a damn what we talking about or what we doing, but you not about to be straight going in." And that wasn't even the crazy part. The crazy part was when we got in the little break room wherever we were, she tried to use that opportunity to air out everything that she ever had a problem with me on. And I let her go ahead and talk, but I immediately like undressed her down and went in. And after I got finished undressing her, I went straight to our director and told her about what the fuck was going on. And the director was like, "Well, don't worry about it. We've had some issues with her in the past and all this kind of stuff. I'm glad that y'all were able to talk about it, whatever."
Is this what you call it?
Yes, that's what you call it.
Those are my favorite stories.
So, and I ended up getting up out of there. But the main thing that I stressed to her was,
fuck her.
The main thing I stressed to her was, look, I don't disrespect anybody when we're up in here. If you there's a way to tell people that something needs to be done or there's something's wrong. I say I have no problem with criticism and learning and whatnot. But when you saying shit just for saying shit, just because you feel a way, I'm not gonna let that shit slide. I'm not letting that get past me because then you're gonna feel like you can do that anytime. And so maybe that's something I need to work on. But I believe in holding motherfuckers' feet straight to the fucking fire.
Yeah, I think the crazy part for me. So your story was immaculate, but I couldn't get over the fact that you said you slowly rose out of your cube. I saw you get up like a freshly turned walker. Walking dead. So I was like,
freshly turned walker.
So exactly. That's I got stuck.
I completely agree. Like, in depending on what kind of workplace you're in, like certain people feel that they have the right to just say whatever. And like Esquire said about himself, he was a good person for me when it came to people talking to me funny. And I was not necessarily in a place where I felt like I had the right to speak up. I did take some liberties in my most recent, prior to right now, when I was tired of being spoken to a certain way. I'm an adult, I'm educated, I'm here for a reason. Someone hired me to be here. So what you won't do is speak to me like this. And when I was given the opportunity to someone ask me, what can I do better? Most of the time I would be like, we're good. We're all good. Like, I wouldn't say anything. But given that opportunity, I said, you know what, now that you're asking, you don't have to stop talking to me like this. Talking to me, talking to us, talking to our team. It's not productive. It's not how I manage my team. So it's like that conflict between you and I is causing a problem for my team. So like finding like the balance to like tell people, put them in their place, but like here's where your opportunity is. You're not wrong, but here's what you can do when you need to express what you need to express, because we're all adults and we're all chosen to be here. Like, you're no better than me right about now. And that's hard to deal with, but Esquire was very good with like helping me clear my head, because as much of a wordsmith as I am, if I'm spoken to in the wrong way, I become someone that I actually never was. It's only in those moments I become somebody else entirely, who needs to say a lot of things and get in trouble. And bosses are real difficult like that. But those of you out there dealing with that bullshit, keep your head up, find your words. If you got a friend that's real good with talking about things, let them help you out first. Jump in there, stand up for yourself, coon to that thing. Your name is not Toby.
No, keep your feet.
Keep your feet.
Not keep your feet.
Please keep your feet.
Keep your feet, and if you feel like you'll give a damn about losing your damn job,
right? Or walk out of that.
Keep your goddamn dignity too. But
while you at it,
take that stapler and go on if that's what you want to do too. You can do that. Nobody's stopping you.
My mindset has always been just like I found this motherfucker, I'll find me another one.
Right.
But I'm not about to let you get in. But everybody has to fight their own battles the way that they know how. You know what I'm saying? So what's good for one may not necessarily be good for the gander on the other side.
I always think it's very interesting whenever your boss's boss is the problem.
Oh, yes.
Because the hard part with that trend, when your boss is basically like the middle person, and they may not govern you a certain kind of way, but then they get a new boss, and then their new boss expects them to do this, and so they have to kind of trickle it down to you, and that shit's terrible.
Yeah.
And there's nothing positive about dealing with, like, micromanaging is my absolute least favorite thing about anything work related, and I'm currently dealing with a massive case of micromanaging from like a couple levels up, and it's painful. It's painful as shit.
And usually, the higher up they go, the more uninformed those people are, because they're not on the same level knowing what the hell is going on. They're just, well, it should be like this. Well, it should be a lot of ways, but this is what the reality is.
Right.
And you cussing us out from on high in Mount Olympus is not going to fucking make it. That's not going to help it get to where it needs to get to. So I completely understand that.
That is true. I had to learn to like adjust how I did things to work for me and my people, to make sure that we were doing what we needed to do. And as long as we were doing that, all the other stuff they were, jibber-jabbing about didn't necessarily matter. But then that's a different mindset that I had to take, and it took me a long time to figure that out. But you work your way around that bullshit, because they're in charge. That is what it is. But you don't necessarily have to deal with it if you can get your job done correctly.
And when you work around it the correct way, when the right people see it, you can kind of work your way up to the next levels. So
speaking of,
look at you, Najee.
Look at you, segue, baby.
Ooh.
How do we feel about on your Drake shit, starting from the bottom, now you wherever you are,
Of me? Okay.
Anybody, whatever, doesn't matter.
I've never stayed in the job long enough until I passed the bar or whatever. I was never in a job long enough to where I could work up, because I was always trying to compensate for getting to the next level based on, when I finally would pass the bar or something comparable to me getting out of law school. So I don't necessarily, I knew what I had to do to work up if I wanted to be that manager or whatever, but I didn't see myself being there long term. So now I'm kind of in a position where I kind of want to know how to start working up now. So I don't know if I can necessarily contribute too much to this one.
Najee and I both, you've worked in the same place for a very long time, and I worked somewhere for almost 10 years. Your journey, or how your views on that.
So for me, I think starting from the bottom is great in a lot of aspects. There's typically like a chip on your shoulder that you're looking to prove either other people or yourself wrong, that you can do what you're setting out to do, which is always good. Now, the hard part is once you get to the here, but it's not the top, but you kind of found this like comfortable spot. Because working as hard as you possibly can, because you don't want anybody to give a reason to kick you out of your job, or you don't make enough money for what you want to do, so you got to keep going. Once you kind of hit a comfortable plateau, if you will, making yourself believe that you're starting from the bottom again to push yourself to the top, or whatever the next goal is, that shit's rough. But I think it's definitely important to know what it's like to start from the bottom. You get a different perspective of things.
I would agree. I think like in making big decisions when you're in that place. I think anybody who knows me knows I was in a spot where I'm making the money, doing the things. I got a little bit of power in my hands. But at some point, none of that became enough. So I had to make a decision. So I've worked my way up, and for me, up changed. Like whatever up was became something different. So like now, do I continue doing what I'm doing to take that path, or do I like step out and do something different? I ended up eventually stepping out and doing something different once I, did the whole like Grand Theft Auto run into the wall for millions of moments. The plateau got a little crazy for me. But yes, that's a mental thing. Like, kind of decide, like, what do I want next? And is this really it? And that's an adult thing that you have to do. The young person in you is like, get this money, let's, do whatever. It's like, but then to what end? So working your way up is a good thing, and up might be different along the way. No ceiling, I guess, out here. And it's not to say that it's not to be complacent, but it's to be content, but always have your eye on the prize, whatever the prize is. Because I'm sure when you started, you didn't want that one thing. There's probably something else that you wanted. You just think that this is nice because it feels really good. Mm-hmm. So,
I guess just listening to you guys talk about the going up, I never stayed anything for like 10 years, 7 years, 8 years or whatnot. But I did try to pride myself on, okay, I know how much education that I have. Mm-hmm. And even though I may not be staying, I know I won't be staying in this job long and I'm moving on. Mentally, I think I told myself I wanted to be in a better role than I was where I started off at, even if it was just in a different company.
Always.
And I tried to do that as I was working up.
job, yeah.
If it was, till I pass this bar or whatever, what's the closest thing I can get to attorney, and what does that path look like? What does that journey look like? Yeah. Even if it's a different company next year and so forth. So, okay, I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. It's different for everybody. Don't be afraid to get out there and get your hands dirty. Nothing worth having is easy to get. Those are facts.
Okay.
So, take those nuggets. Chicken fillet, not Popeyes.
Polynesian sauce specifically with these nuggets.
For show.
I don't even think they sell nuggets at Popeyes. I think they sell tenders.
Well, either way, it's a chicken that's smaller than the breast.
Well, all right. Ooh. Okay.
But speaking of working your way up and dealing with things, all symptoms of working while black, I've seen like there's a lot of. We'll try to compact this as much as possible, but with us all being black, y'all being male, especially. In finance, in finance, in law, either of those professions, are they highly other races, or like are you guys feel like you are outnumbered, or you're working your way? Or is it more than it used to be? What does that look like?
Heavily outnumbered. Typically, let me swing that. My current role has a lot more people that look like me, in that sense than any role I've ever been in before. So typically, I am the one and only, and everyone else is of other backgrounds. So it's really rough. I remember the first time I ever saw another black person in analytics when I went to St. Louis, and I looked and I said, "Oh, hello," and she saw me and she looked, and we both had this like understanding of like, "Hey." You let me know if you need something. I never talked to her like for anything, but we chatted back and forth, and that look of understanding, I'd never experienced it before. But in that moment, it's like you when you know, and she recognized it's clearly the same thing because it was literally us, and I didn't know she existed.
Same sort of situation like Najee. When I got to the firm and just being the only black attorney, and there were other black people there, as far as like one of the paralegals was black, and the bookkeeper was black, but the only attorney that was black. So sitting in on those meetings and going to different places or handling different closings and whatnot, to an extent, it felt kind of good to be the only black attorney, only for the simple fact of they may not always remember your name, but they remember you.
Yeah.
So therefore, they're going to be remembering your work and all that kind of stuff. My cousin, she is an attorney as well. She's a lot older than me. She has been practicing for a while, and we were talking about the whole when you see other black people out and they give you that look. She said there's always going to be two types of black people when you see them in heavily white environments. They're either going to be the ones where you give that look and like, oh, okay, all right, great, and you can connect with them, or you're going to have the ones that have that terrified look like, please don't come over here. I don't want to be seen like we're congregating together and all this kind of stuff, yada yada and whatnot. But it's been every time I've gone to like a networking event where there's only been a few black people, we look like you supposed to be here, I was supposed to be here. You keep your head up because we got the vibrations together.
They know the vibrations,
so it is what it is. But yeah, what about you, Coley?
I would say that I've never really been. I've been fortunate to be in a place where their diversity is important to them, so they will mostly promote or deal with the best person for the job, even if it seems like a crock. It never really seemed like race, or to me, it was more just boys' club or friend of a friend kind of thing, but it never seemed racial. The only time I think I did experience, Esquire, remember this, when I got promoted a few years back, my boss, who was also black, asked me to change my hair, stating that it might not look the best in certain settings. And I remember being very confused because she herself had similar hair. It was just longer. She was also taller, skinnier, and light skinned. But that might be a whole other issue now that I think about it in this moment.
Nice little callback.
She wasn't light skinned.
Yes, she was. She was his complexion.
I'm not light skinned, guys. So for the record, let's be very clear.
That's not light skinned. That's not light skinned.
Anyway, she was light skinned because I'm brown skinned. She was lighter than me.
Okay.
She light skinned.
Folks, if you're listening, Coley has a brown paper bag. She does a brown paper bag test.
Before you get into her house, you got to go through this test. And apparently I failed with flying colors, and she didn't tell me.
She asked me to change my hair, and I felt weird about that, mostly because people had always complimented me on my hair. And it wasn't outrageous or anything ridiculous like that, because I'm real particular about how I do my hair. Mm-hmm. So I was very thrown off by that. But then to come to a workplace where I am now, my hair is currently locked up. I've got, faux locks in my hair or whatever. People love it. It's a free place. People got their hair looking all types of crazy. We got short hair, spiked, purple, green, whatever. And they don't seem to care at all. So I'm like, is it really that serious? And it doesn't even matter what I am. I, met one of my 2 levels up a few weeks ago, and the first thing she said was, "Oh my God, I love your hair. That's so pretty." Now, granted, could it be that that's something white people say when they're being friendly? Maybe. But what she didn't do was seem thrown off by my presence as a black woman with a hairstyle that's not so much in the past accepted in the workplace. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So she didn't seem to be bothered by that. But I do know it's a real thing, and there is the idea that you have to work harder and better. And I always find myself making sure that if I'm in the room, that I'm speaking clearly, doing my absolute best to be heard in the professional manner. I put my Beverly voice on when I'm talking in certain settings to make sure that they know who I am.
Hit you with that. Oh, she's so well spoken. She speaks very well.
So then I can flip out about that when I leave the meeting. Yes, because I hate that. Now that's happened to me in the workplace, being told that I'm well spoken or so whatever, articulate.
What does that mean?
I said, bitch, if you don't go to my mama's house and check my degrees, yes, I am well spoken, and I better be for all the money I paid. Fuck you.
Just because I got finger waves and goddess braids does not mean I cannot talk.
You know what you start doing? Whenever they say you're so well spoken, you should be like, you are too. And you are as well. Wow.
I wish you guys would have seen the Dave Chappelle special, because he had a situation in there where he was, long story short, he went to go to people that were talking about their what you can and cannot say on TV. Okay. The censors, there we go, I believe. And so basically someone was talking about, you can't say this homophobic word or whatever. But he's like, but I can say the N-word all day, every day. And she was like, yeah, but you can't say that one because you're not gay. And he's like, I'm not a nigger either. So what are you trying to say? So that's how I feel when someone's like, oh, you're so well spoken. It's like, well, what was I supposed to be?
Right. What did you expect me to say?
Exactly.
I never thought of it like that.
Like in this role where I am, in this place that we are, like, who do you think they're hiring?
How do you think I got here?
Right.
Now, I did have that question in undergrad.
To the top.
Round and around.
Round and around.
Possibly.
You said you had that question in high school?
Undergrad. Like, sometimes I would look around undergrad and I'm like, how did we get into the same school? But
yeah.
But then you turn around, you talk to them, when you realize what's going on, it's like, oh, okay, you just had a bad moment. But I'm
had a bad moment.
Yeah, you just having a bad day. But I never told somebody, oh, you're so well spoken. Like,
I don't.
It's the word. People out there, if you're listening and you know somebody that acts like that, just try your best and let them know. Write it on a sticky note. Send them a text. We can't stand that.
Right.
We can't stand it. It's especially if you are educated. It's one thing if you just happen to be black and just you don't talk black. I have air quotes because that's crazy too.
Yeah.
I am educated. I've worked very hard to know the things that I know and be the way that I am. So I do apologize that I don't sound like whatever the fuck you thought I would sound like. I'm sorry that I sound like you, I guess. You dumb bitch. I don't know.
Going back to what you said about the light skinned girl who told you to take the light out of your swoop. It's amazing how sometimes people can give you advice to do what you got to do to move up, and half the time you change yourself and do what you got to do, and you ain't even meant to be there in the first place. You get the hell up out of there. So now you got your light back in, well, not your swoop, and your locks.
Prior to this moment,
you did get your light back in there, and you were able to flourish and just be yourself and be well spoken at another company.
Light skinned chick. If you out there in the world right now and you somehow hear this from somebody, I have burgundy in my hair right now. What you about to do?
Again, she's not light skinned, but okay.
She's not. So I think that these things like make it like the culture of these different places makes a really big difference.
Yes.
So
yes.
like you talk about some place that may, admire diversity. Like my job is big on diversity too, on and off the books. And I think that if I had a choice as to where I would work, I would choose to work where I work because I enjoy the culture and how everything is set up. And people, thank God, don't tell me
Right.
I speak well.
Good. I'm glad because I don't want that for you. But that's actually good that you said about working where you work because that can kind of help us round out this thing as far as like what makes you choose the kind of place, like what factors are you looking for when you're working, and that could help somebody else out there who's trying to decide if they want to make a jump, they want to do something different. Like what are the things that you look for if you're needing a new job or needing a new setting? And in that, are you looking for a job or are you looking for a career, looking for something that's going to be passionate and purposeful for you? What are those tie-ins for you?
Well, for me personally, once I passed the bar, I got out of just looking for a job. I was looking more so now for a career because that's what I spent, my whole teens and 20s saying, I wanted to be an attorney. So the next move is always going to be for me. I'm big on growth. I'm big on a place that, like you said, encourages diversity, good pay, and just respect all the way around. Like, do you respect your employees? Because you can get into some of these companies or work for some of these places, and the money can be good, but then they treat people like absolute trash. Like, you don't have no real days off to spend time with your family. They expect you to be around the work all the clock, always accessible. And depending on what your job is, if you're a
Maybe
911 operator, then you need to be accessible.
That's a little different.
You need to be accessible, but we put in so much time to school and everything. I really want a great work-life balance. Like, I want to be able to work hard, contribute, give to the company, firm, or whatever, but at the same time, I want to be able to enjoy this life.
And I don't want to feel bad when I want that other part.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I think for me, it's in terms of choosing where I work. Now that I've gotten older, like shit matters, like benefits, and like I actually care.
Right.
It's like, ooh, how much is your deductible? Ooh, I ain't paying that every month, but things like that. But culture makes a big difference. But then again, people can sell you on all kinds of shit. So you can tell me all day, we don't believe in doing this. We're going to value you no matter how you speak, and then it's just going to be great. And then you get in there and it's something completely different. But I've noticed that a lot of different companies kind of
we value how you speak.
As long as it's well.
So it's got to be well.
Exactly. So it's just kind of like I know different companies have a tendency to have like a run it like you own it for like the smaller sections. And then when you get into the overall company, they may not do what you would do in the smaller sections, but it's okay. So I kind of look at the bigger pitch of the bigger company and say, okay, I like what the company stands for. And then you kind of see if you can vibe with, because to me, your direct manager makes a hell of a difference.
Yeah.
Because if I can't vibe with you, then A, I'm not going to get what I need from you to develop me.
Right.
And then B, I'm not going to want to be around you. So these two things together makes a very big difference. So if we're in an interview, because I remember I had an interview for a position and I was not vibing with anybody on the call.
Oh, dang.
No one. And there was like their business partners were on there. So it was like different people. So you can kind of get a nice round view. And I was appreciative because I was like, this shit is terrible.
Right.
And I don't want to be a part of none of this.
Right. I'll
And
keep it.
Yeah. So then when they offered me the job and they were like, wait, you don't want? No. I don't want that job. Thank you so much. I'll take this other job that I'm eventually going to get shafted.
That interview was terrible.
It was terrible.
No, you did a good job. No, y'all didn't do a good job.
I'll take that back to the drawing board.
Exactly. So yeah, that's kind of what I look for is like personal connections with anybody involved in the work or what the company stands for on and off the paper. Because people will tell you if they don't fuck with a company, they will smooth tell you that you don't want to work here.
Yeah, I'd be all over that damn Glassdoor, Google reviews, like, and a lot of that you have to see. Okay,
In context,
they're not.
yeah.
They just got fired last week. Because a lot more people will get on there to slander a place than to uplift it. But if I'm checking multiple sources and everybody's saying the same thing, it's just like I'm a little bit leery about this.
Yeah. I would have to agree with what both of you are saying. after spending, like I said, nearly 10 years in one place, and towards the end there, just running in circles, it's super important to me that at this point in my life, I do something purposeful.
Yeah.
And that I line up with all the work that I've done. Getting a master's degree and figuring out, like, what if I spent all this money, now what are we going to do about this?
Right.
And not spending all my time just trying to get money. All money is important, it's very necessary, but going to work every day and not wanting to, bang my head against the wall is also very important to me.
That's actually very important.
And Esquire, Nancy, Najee, they can all attest to, like, the struggle that I was in towards the end there. Like, this is not it. And if you're in, like, being in some shit that you're not supposed to be in is the absolute worst when it comes to work. For me, I think work-life balance is of the utmost importance, and I have that now. So shout out to my new job for giving me that. I don't have 2 phones anymore, and it is the best feeling that I've ever had in my life.
But how can you get to the plug and the hose with just one phone?
Plugs or hose at this point.
Oh,
I have my one phone.
Fair.
And and that's all good for me. The bill is a lot higher now, but that's okay. Other perks come in mind. I think like Najee said, benefits and perks and things like that are super important. Companies got a lot of those. And then of course culture. Like culture is super huge. And Glassdoor, like reading all those kinds of things. One of the things that happened to me when I first got to my new job was I was talking about why I chose it. And one of the employees I met who, like you said, people who don't like it there will tell you. And I made a comment about what I liked about it and why I chose it. He was like, "Did you read the Glassdoor article?"
I wrote it.
And I was like, actually, no, I didn't. Because all I saw was a job description that I loved. And I went in. I didn't even look at Glassdoor, which was weird because I usually did. But I didn't for this company. And he started telling me about it. And I'm thinking, and at this point, it's been maybe a month that I've been there, and I haven't seen any of that behavior that I saw, that I heard him talk about on the Glassdoor.
Oh, so he was slandering.
I'm sure it's someone's experience, because every company that you go to, there's going to be something happening.
Right.
But my experience, I was not experiencing any of those things, and I'm just like, well, I don't know what to tell you, Brooke, because it's for me. It's exactly what they told me it was on day one, and I feel it every day. And even when the points when it has its weirdness, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that, I remind myself that I'm not banging my head against the wall anymore. So I got that bruise off my head, and I'm real glad about that.
Right. And then you also have to look at, a lot of times, not just reading the reviews, you have to look at what position those people are in as well. Because if it's somebody that's at the call center, they're talking about management is terrible, they want a whole lot from you, and I just can't give it. And you applying for like a director role or something like that, that's a lot different.
That's also true.
So it's just like, ooh, I'm probably gonna be your manager. And I don't. Thank you for this. I just need to be. Thank you for coaching up.
And then you
gotta learn how to do it. You gotta communicate up, bruh.
You get out of inexperience what you put into it. So even where things might be poor and experiences might be bad in certain places, and I can attest to that. Like things have been bad. You're like, oh no, that shit's real. They acting up. This company don't give a damn. Unless you're of a certain level in your job. But at the same time, when you're in those positions, you have to find your way, like we said, to make it work for you, to get around it. And that's up to you to do that. But if you don't like it, at some point you're going to be tired. And when you get tired, nothing will get in your way. So that's a true thing. If you stay focused on it long enough, you'll get what you want.
A terrible songwriter once said, when a woman's fed up.
Ooh, there is nothing. There's nothing you can do about it. Unfortunately, his women are not fed up, so here we are. But I digress. Cool, guys. Jobs, passions. Don't hear Coley. Let Coley tell you. Don't get stuck in nothing that's not for you. Okay, remember that. Don't
What God has for you, it is for you.
Don't go in circles. Get off the hamster wheel. Shake it up.
Yeah, don't get stuck. Although sometimes you might have to do some things that you don't want to do.
Yes. To
get where you got to get to. Always take the lesson from everything that you do, no matter what. Even if it's a simple serving job to where you are now, there's always a life lesson in everything to get you to your ultimate goal. So.
And make sure that you treat your janitor position the same way you would treat your CEO position, because it makes a difference, and that work ethic really stands with you. Because you could have somebody who's like a mechanic, and then they can work all the way up to do something completely different.
Yeah, that is very true. My dad used to tell me, you need to be a good steward over the things that you got, because if you don't take care of what you got, you won't get anything new. So that is also so very important. yeah, that has been this shit right here. Work and all of its shenanigans. Thank you guys for contributing to that. That's good stuff.
You speak so very well. You're so well spoken.
You were not a white lady.
Did you go to
I will
private
cut
school?
you out. You know what? I actually did go to private school. I did go to private school.
You sound like it.
Yeah. There was only 4 of me in my graduating class.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Did y'all sit together?
No, we were actually spread out.
Okay.
Their last names differed.
Okay,
Our
gotcha.
last names differed. Yeah, they did, and our skin tones also. So that was fun.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Okay, they said we need the white chocolate over there, the dark chocolate over there, milk chocolate there, and this caramel mulatto something. Put her in the back.
You'll be last.
Yeah.
That is good stuff with this shit right here. We're gonna take a real quick pause because y'all know what we gotta do. For us, by us. It's a FUBU moment coming at you right here. One for
If you wanna be somebody
Hey.
and you wanna go somewhere,
Hey.
then you better wake up and pay attention. Yo. Look, this FUBU moment goes to Mr. Carl Allenby. Came across a story on the Root. It talks about a man who was a mechanic for just about all of his life. Realized that he had a passion for medicine and wanting to be a doctor. Always wanted to be a doctor, but he grew up in a time where they were like, hey, you just need to get a job. Finish high school, get a job, don't worry about other education. He went back to school and he became a doctor at 47. I think this is a really cool story. He's out of Cleveland. As I was reading the story, one thing I kept thinking about was Sister Act 2. And you remember that scene where she was talking to Rita and Rita was just talking about, what she wanted to do as far as like singing and how she could do that, whatever. And she told Rita, she said, hey, if the first thing that you wake up thinking about doing is singing, and you're a singer girl. And I feel like this story kind of relates with this guy because he was going back to schools because he wanted to get a business degree for his auto shop that he was running, which was very successful.
He wanted to be more informed.
More informed.
A better business owner.
He messed around and took a biology class, and I don't know how. I guess that was probably one of his general ed cap classes he had to take, and it just reawakened his passion for wanting to be a doctor. And I think that's just really cool.
No, that's what's up. Shout out to you, Carl.
RNA and DNA will do it to you. Get you real hype. He went from fixing cars to fixing people.
That's it.
You better build not that thing, Carl.
It's never too late. So if you out there, if you 50 years old, for all those parents that are like pushing their kids to be singers and rappers and all this kind of stuff, and they trying to live vicariously through them,
and the competition is out.
Singing does not put food on the table.
On the T. Put the T on the end. You living vicariously through your kids? Fuck them kids. You can jump in and do it your damn self.
Get in
You
there.
live the dream.
Yep.
Yes.
Anyway, that's the FUBU moment.
Cool. Shout out to you, Carl. We appreciate you. We love you. We honor you. Be great out there. Y'all, this has been another episode of Nights at the Round Table. We out here. Wednesday, hump day. Najee's out here. Esquire's here. Coley's here. We're going to clean house here for a little bit. Shout out to my ladies Juice and Miss Nikki Baby from the Kickin' Shit podcast. Last week we dropped the first installment of the Battle of the Sexes Fishbowl. It was fun. It was a good time. Y'all stay tuned because next week these two gentlemen here before me will be joined possibly by our long lost Benji. We love you, Benji, wherever you are. They will be pulling topics out of the fishbowl as well.
Hell yeah, because we got to have our say in the fucking matter too.
They have,
And Miss Nikki
apparently-
Baby, we coming for you.
Because black men don't cheat.
That's exactly it.
Now. Ding, 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 ding. Your corners. Get back to your corners, please. So y'all look out for that next week in between the two episodes. Also, playlists out there. We got the Ceci playlist. It's still out
Yes.
there from our first episode this season.
And that shit is a fucking
Let me tell
groove.
It still hits.
It's a
The
fucking
Ceci playlist
groove.
is very good. Not I want to point out that Najee, if y'all use Apple Music, you can see what your friends are listening to. And the other night, we looked at the damn Friends mix for me. Najee had been playing just the
The Ceci playlist.
The whole Friends
He
mix
was
was
caught.
Najee listening to the playlist.
He was caught
That
up.
was it.
He was caught up.
When I got to that Sir joint,
Yo.
I said,
It
That
literally,
thing-
it literally was like recommended, and you were like listening to everything off the playlist.
even that Victor Oladipo joint go hard.
Oh, bro,
Yes.
it does. It most definitely does. So y'all get out there, Spotify, Apple Music, check out the playlist, Ceci playlist, the playlist from before. You will see A regular playlist probably the next couple weeks from us, but right now enjoy
We're gonna let this one.
time.
We're gonna let this one breathe
We're
for a
gonna let
little
that one
while.
marinate.
Oh, it's still burning.
I want
It's
y'all
a
to
slow
get through
burn.
it, okay, burn your incense, turn the lights off, and see what it do for you. Cool. As always, hit us up at Night Rounds on the Instagram. I don't know if y'all noticed, but we doing better out here. Okay.
Yes.
We beefing up our social media presence, so that's what's up.
Thank you, Lancelot.
Thank you. Hit us up out here. The Twitter, we still not there yet. The Lord is not through with us.
I don't think Lancelot knows how to use Twitter. To be completely honest, or either he's locked out.
Maybe. You know what?
I don't think he has the password.
You know what? Because I tried to log in
honest.
that one time and maybe not.
He does not have
Maybe
the
he can't
password.
get
I don't
in.
think he has it.
Oh, maybe Twitter's not it for us. We're not going to deal with that. Instagram is better anyway. So y'all hit us up at there at Night Rounds. Give us a follow. Give us a shout. Let us know what you're thinking, what you feel, what you want to hear.
Hey, real quick. Sorry, but I know we're wrapping it up. Should you think we should start like a Hinge account or something like that? Like to the round table. I mean, we ain't no freaks or nothing, but I'm just saying though, just to talk to people.
Like a joint Hinge account. Like have a joint profile. Instead of men and women swipe as needed. Like,
So whose profile is this?
I have my logo on there.
we're working on being less anonymous and maybe kind of. So,
That sounds like a MySpace page.
That's on my face.
we'll just have pics of our fingernails and like kneecaps and see if you're interested. Enter at your own risk. Nights at the round table. We appreciate y'all for coming back another week. We love y'all.
Hinge account.
Najee, thank you for being here. My
Najee
nigga.
boy.
We appreciate you, young man. Also, y'all, Najee's got a damn slave hat on. I'm
He
trying
does.
to know that.
Be clear, I got it from here. So I ain't bring it with me. So it's yours. Kunta.
Like imagine a slave in Jurassic Park trying to fucking get out. Like the fuck is happening right now?
Oh, God. Yes. It's
One
your
size
girl,
fits
Coley.
Esquire.
Najee, you here?
Yep.
Nancy here.
There go Nancy.
The dogs are here. They had a rough night, but we here. We appreciate y'all for coming out again. It's
Sleep.
been nice at the round table. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. We out of here.
Ow!